I'm Rishita from third year CSC. So I have an idea regarding farming. I have presented it on Innovation Day also. I would like to start up a company on this basis. I'd like you to suggest me few ways to how to reach the heights and what's the premost thing I need to do to start a company.
It's a valid question. So the first question that she has asked is, she said she has an idea, right? So she's not worried about the technical skills that are required for implementing the idea. So the first thing that I would recommend you to do is to validate if your idea is realistic or if it is already being implemented. If you to validate that, first go and talk to the stakeholders where you really see a problem. In this case, what you're talking about is actually a farmer, right? Go talk to a farmer nearby your college and see whether the problem that you are seeing is a realistic problem or not. You talk to a couple of farmers, 2, 3 farmers, 5 farmers, right? Talk to them and they will give you a different set of view of what you are actually thinking. We are thinking in engineering terms. They will be thinking in layman terms. That's where you can shape your idea. Once you had shaped your idea, go ahead and start thinking how to implement it at a low cost. Technology is again not required here. I want to implement the idea at a low cost. How do I do it? And then you should definitely be a successful startup.
Implement the idea in a low cost. So foremost, we are not that affordable to implement this idea. So are there any ways in which we can implement this at low cost? That means what are the ways?
Another valid question. So like said, sir, now we have an idea. We spoke to our stakeholders. We spoke to farmers. We know what the farmer needs or we know what the stakeholder needs. And now we want to actually implement it. But we do not have sufficient funds, sufficient money to build this idea. For these, you can approach your management and get an approval that we are going to do this proof of concept, POC, and get a funds from there. And once you build the POC, you can go ahead, put it in front of some investors and they should be able to help you. We actually do that as part of our organization. We go to colleges, listen to the ideas, help them build the POC. From there, we do a funding for that project to successfully convert it into a startup. That's what we do.
So this is Purima from CSC. So I would like to ask, what is the right time to start a startup? I mean, after completing the degree, or should we have the masters, or should we have some experience of job or something?
If you have an idea and you validate your idea, like I was mentioning, go talk to your stakeholders. Whom do you see a problem with? And if that problem is realistic, you can start it right away also. The first startup that we have started was in 2006 when I was doing +2. So there is no right age to get a startup. It's only a matter of correct idea and doing a validation around it.
This is Varshni. What is the one mantra you followed, you believed to reach your success?
Good question, but I do not think I follow any mantras. The only mantra that I see as a success basically is, you know something that someone else don't know, and someone else knows something that you don't know. So always try to learn from someone or that thing that you don't know and try to teach him or her the knowledge that you know. It's a kind of mutual sharing that you need to do, and be open. It's not like you are a manager, you are a CEO, you cannot learn from a fresher, you cannot learn from an intern. I, being a co-founder, director of my organization, I do sit with my interns, share the knowledge that they have from me. My knowledge, I will share it to them. That way, both of us can grow together. That's the only mantra I have to follow.
One more question.
Yeah.
Who was your inspiration?
My father.
if already a company is leading in a place, and can we still go and start a startup?
Absolutely. But another valid question here. So, the question is, what if I have a company, a very, very big company, who is already a market leader in that, but still I want to go do my own startup, build my own idea around that, and then try to go ahead.
This is Krishna Saket from IoT. Sir, what are the responsibilities of an entrepreneur in a startup company?
There are many responsibilities. You are the peon, you are the CEO, you are the leader, you are the coder. Everything is you who have to start.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So happy to have you here. My question is, how do you tackle with different types of people with whom you work when you are in a project? How do you tackle with different types of people when you are working together?
Getting into an organization, I mean, basically, you are working for someone or you are having your own startup. You will have a very varied set of people across. One who is very, very good at communications, one who is very bad at communications but excellent programming skills, right? One who might kind of be an introvert, one who wants to express everything, one is kind of an all-rounder. You have all these guys in the team, right? But when you come to managing things, you first have to acknowledge that the skill that you have is different from the skill that they have. Your motto is to learn something from them, then automatically things fall in place.
I'm Anudeep sir, from CSE. So how do we should we follow the current market trend, or do we follow our own plans, like our market plan?
Campus placements, or let's say when you're coming to your doing your stone startups, it is good that you know what the technology is. It is good that you know what is the current trend in the market.
We started a startup and startup ends in a few months. After, what is the position of the person who...
I can tell you, I can relate it to my story. The moment when we started Gyanastra IT Solutions, right? It was a very short idea. It's an idea where if a team of engineering students sits together, they can complete it in one day. And that's my startup story. I started this startup. The team who can do that, they can do the project that we were thinking in just one day. That short is our startup idea. But how did we scale to these many years? What we do, a simple funda, is go to the stakeholder. Okay, you have solved one problem. You have engineers, you have built a problem for you. Go to that one who you are trying to give that product to. And once you have that product to them, they will tell you 100 different problems in the problem that you implemented. Your idea is short. Give that short idea to someone who is already having a problem. They will come up with 100 different solutions there. They will tell you how to scale up your product.
Sir, I'm K. Pradeep from CSC. So, sir, my question is how to deal with my ups and lows in my company, and what are the roles I should play as a CEO of my company.
Whenever you are doing a startup or something, ensure you have sufficient cash reserves. Let's say you are working for 2 years and after 2 years you quit your company and then you want to start your own startup. Ensure for the rest 1 year you are being paid 20,000 at least a month. That means you have to have all your savings for 1 full year to sustain that startup.
This is Bhavani from IoT. I would like to ask one question. What would be the company's plans for its success or growth?
It completely depends on the idea that you get into. Let's say the previous company that I said, I had an idea, I implemented the prototype, and I know that there is someone who is already working on it, right? So when you know that someone is already working on it, it is not that you have to stop, your idea and go for a new idea. Tweak your idea in such a way that that company will not be able to implement.
I'll add up here for server. I request that whenever you get an idea, immediately solve the idea. idea you are identifying now. After 1 year again you want to implement it. By the time other fellow will be implement that idea. Okay.